The Blockchain Trilemma, or referred to by many as the Scalability Trilemma, is a term first coined by the blockchain founder Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin. This theory suggests that if we could make all three components of a blockchain fully present, then we can have a fully functional blockchain ready for mass adoption by everyone around the world. Now, before we get into exactly what the Blockchain Trilemma is and how it will affect you in your day-to-day life, first, like and subscribe to this video if you find any of this information helpful. The Blockchain Trilemma suggests that there are three components to any blockchain which must be present in order to make it fully scalable and ready for mass adoption. Those three components are security, decentralization, and scalability. Now, the first two are in blockchain and crypto terms, very obvious and common sense. In order to have a blockchain technology, it has to be fully decentralized and security. It has to be secure. But what exactly does decentralization and security mean when it comes to the blockchain technology? Well, decentralization comes from you, right? So it comes from people or nodes that operate the blockchain system. Nodes in the blockchain or crypto talk in the crypto market, it means computers, right? So blockchains are ran by computers. What this means is that no central entity, no one person, no one governance can take over the entire or decide for an entire community or entire person, right? So what this means is, unlike the bank or, like Chase or any other banking system, which that banking system basically can tell you if you're able to get money out of your account or not, the blockchain is ran by a system. So there's no one entity that's able to control whether you're able to access your funds in any case. Now, there is goods and bads to the decentralization side. For the most part, it is all good, as I mentioned. In order for any person to take over the exact blockchain network, they must have control of 51% of the nodes on the network, of the computers on the network. Most blockchains are ran by a proof of work system. This proof of work system is what completes the transaction. So this transaction is completed through a proof of work system on a single node. So in order for one person to take over the entire blockchain, again, they must have access to over 50% of all of the computers on one blockchain. What this means is the more computers a blockchain has, the more decentralized it will become, because it makes it harder for one person to take over the entire network. Now, on the flip side of things, we have security. With security in the blockchain system, you can't have a blockchain system without security because it's all on a single node, or so on a computer, right? So what this means is, for a blockchain to be secure, you must make it difficult or near impossible for a hacker to hack the blockchain system. So you must have, cryptography in place, which is basically the mathematical computations that make up the code of a blockchain. So for the most part, blockchains are very secure. However, there has been instances where blockchains have been hacked and, people have lost their data storage or their income, whatever is stored on the blockchain. Now, security and decentralization are basically the two main components of any blockchain. In order for it to be a blockchain system, it has to be secure and decentralized. Now, the trilemma takes place when you throw in the last one, which the last one is the most important, which is scalability. Well, I won't say most important, but it's pretty up there. The scalable factor makes the blockchain able to be adopted for mass use, right? So basically, you're able to use it, I'm able to use it, everybody's able to use it the same way you're able to use your Visa, MasterCard, right? Now, what happens in the blockchain system right now, and without going too much into scalability just states that, again, more people are able to use the network, with the network remaining the same function. So it's still decentralized and it's still secure. You're not sacrificing those two components just to make it more scalable. That's what scalability has to do with, right? So right now in the blockchain system, or in all blockchain systems, for the most part, there are two main blockchain systems, which is Ethereum and the Bitcoin system. Now, these two systems are perfect when it comes to the top two components, which are decentralization and security, which makes it a blockchain in the first place. Now, what's stopping those two systems from making it to mass adoption is the scalability factor of the actual blockchains themselves. So the scalability factor since these two blockchains are not very scalable, it makes the price of doing business on the networks very high. And we refer to this price of doing business as gas prices, right? So with the blockchain and Ethereum network, the way you actually measure how scalable a blockchain is by measuring the amount of seconds to transactions per second the blockchain can commit or can do. So right now with the Ethereum network and the blockchain network, as you can see, they're doing about 7 and 15 transactions per second, which is not very high, especially when you compare it to traditional finance. So with traditional finance systems, let's take Visa, for example, right? So Visa is one of the most popular finance networks that we use today nationwide and worldwide. Now, Visa, the chief chairman of Visa, as you can see here, said that they are currently able to process 65,000 transactions per second. So the cost of doing Visa, as we all know, is not very high, right? So the cost of doing, business with Visa, you don't pay to go you don't pay money to go buy something at the store when you're using your Visa card. However, when it comes to Ethereum and Bitcoin, you have to pay often if you're buying something or if you're transferring something. And this comes even more to play when you use blockchain technology, because you're not only buying things at the store, but you also can use apps or decentralized apps or dApps. Using dApps, decentralized apps like Twitter or Odyssey or any other decentralized platform that goes on a specific blockchain, you will have to pay to use that app if the gas fees or the cost of doing a transaction is too high. That being said, what's currently happening right now in the blockchain space is there are several new layers of technology and blockchain systems that are working on different sides. As you guys can see here, these different layers or different blockchains are working on different sides of the blockchain trilemma. Now again, the blockchain trilemma right now states that it's only possible for two components to exist at the same time without jeopardizing the third component, right? However, again, this is what all the blockchains and a lot of crypto people in the crypto space are trying to break this, because this is the only way cryptocurrency or crypto technology and blockchain technology will become available for mass adoption worldwide, nationwide, right? Now, as we look here, we see that for the most part, again, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they focus on security and decentralization. But the main blockchain, or referred to as the Ether killer, is Solana currently, right? Before something else took place. But just briefly, Solana right now, they are working to be the most scalable blockchain, right? So that being said, they have a proposed transaction per second amount of 65,000 transactions per second, which is the same as the Visa system. So that being said, they are working to be able to knock off the Visa system and be able to be used for traditional finance sector and also other sectors that will use the blockchain technology. That being said, there is the blockchain technology that has claimed, and according to many analysts, does operate, has actually broken the blockchain trilemma. And this one is KDEX. So this KDEX software, they have claimed to be able to put the security, decentralization, and scalability factor or components together to officially solve the scalability trilemma. This being said, with the KDEX network, if they in fact did this, the way it will affect you, and this is what I want to stay on, and I'm very excited, guys. Briefly, if you are confused on some of the things that I'm talking about, be sure to watch the intro to crypto, this video right up there. I'll put the link in the description as well. But to stay here today with just what exactly is the blockchain trilemma without going into many solutions that are already being provided and worked on, to stay on what the blockchain trilemma is and how it will affect you. Now at this present moment, you know what the blockchain trilemma is, and that it's basically said that you can only pick one side of the trilemma. You know the three main components of the trilemma: security, decentralization, and scalability. You now know why they call it the scalability trilemma, because it's really a matter of if blockchain technology is able to scale. Now let me tell you how this will actually affect you in your day-to-day life. With blockchain technology, it's not a matter of if it will replace traditional finance, warehouse. It's not a matter if it will. It's not a matter of when, or not a matter of if. Excuse me. It's a matter of when it will replace the traditional way of living life. Ultimately, it will change everything from your purchasing items at the store, also to where you bank at, and completely, to where you even may receive your mail, how you receive your mail. It will change everything, even to, what apps you look on your phone. That being said, the way this blockchain trilemma will affect you is, once it's completely solved, guys, it will happen like this. And just to put things in perspective, anything you guys have to focus on is KDEX. So if this really does 450,000 transactions per second, guys, that means that in literally blink of an eye, when it's officially ready for mass adoption, when blockchain technology is recognized as official technology through the eyes of traditional systems, which through many traditional systems it already has been, it will be able to replace the traditional system overnight because the technology is already in place. The only thing that's really stopping this from taking place right now is the mass adoption factor of it. The technology is in place for it to be mass adopted. This is no different than if you just go back, let's say 40 years ago, when Apple had already completed the iPad and the iPod. They already had the technology in place. So when it happened, it took over the world in seemingly like overnight fashion. However, the technology was already there. What this means for you and your personal investments, this is not financial advice. However, if you do decide to invest in any crypto at this present moment, you are at the beginning phase of the crypto mass adoption. Once it becomes mass adopted, guys, you will be looking at Amazon, Google. You'll look at companies that will derive, that are already there, but they'll become bigger just because more people are now using blockchain technology that these companies are now built upon. So this is like the internet, and then Google, YouTube, and everything else comes later. So this is the internet being built right now. That's what this is. So this is the internet, which, remember, when the internet was first built, you couldn't imagine Twitter, you couldn't imagine Snapchat, you couldn't imagine any of these things. You just knew that there was an internet being built, and then everything else, multi-million-dollar businesses came from the internet being built. This is the same with blockchain technology, guys. Multi-billion-dollar businesses will be built upon the blockchain technology. So with that being said, guys, I don't know if you're as excited about this as I am. I get pretty excited about this because it's literally a new world order that we are able to take advantage of at this present moment. Until next time, faithfully you enjoyed this video and you learned a thing or two. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy it. Until then though, let's get to stepping.